Traders, welcome back to another monthly recap video. Guys, be sure to leave a like if you're enjoying the videos. Subscribe, right? Subscribe if you are a new viewer. If you've been watching on over the last couple of days, the last couple of weeks, you're a new viewer. Subscribe to the channel. And let's jump right into this monthly recap. Guys, what does it mean to be relentless? Being relentless is, for me, a way of life. Not giving up and always pushing through no matter the roadblock, no matter the adversity, no matter the struggle. Being relentless, to keep on keeping on, even when the times get tough. Guys, remember every day as you're trading, as you're getting into some of those tricky situations, you're having a hard time, you're seeing red days, red weeks, red months. Remember to stay relentless. Keep fighting, keep pushing, and keep being the best version of yourself, right? Keep being that better version of yourself. September started off very rocky for me. Coming out of August, a pretty hot month, we took on some pretty big red days to start, and it was not easy. $2,100 in the first 3 days down. Not good at all, man. But you know what? We told ourselves that this is not something new. This is not something that we haven't seen before. We talk about day over day improvement, week over week, month over month, year over year. That's how you see the progress over time. You take me back a year ago, 2 years ago, this could have been a bigger red, a bigger month, down in the red. So you really have to take take the lesson, right? Take the lesson from each day, whether it's red or green. Take the lesson from each month, each year, and make sure that you're not in the same situation, right? Because doing the same thing over and over and expecting change, that's insanity. So let's do what we must to ensure success by putting things in place and actively adjusting. The rule of three that I put in place after October month of 2020. After 3 big red days, I must size down. I must. There is no choice. And you know what's crazy? Over these 3 days, I felt like I traded well. I felt like I should have been green. But the markets were telling me something, and I needed to listen. I needed to listen, and I think I did the right thing by reducing size and just taking it slow. One day at a time, can we start to see a little bit more follow through? Because ultimately, if the market is really as strong as it should be and hot as it should be, we shouldn't really have 3 red days in a row like this. It just shouldn't happen. So there's some sort of consistency that was negatively affecting my strategy over these 3 days. And at a certain point, you got to stop the bleeding and look to adjust. And that's what we did. Small green, small green, small green. We just kept fighting. We kept being relentless. The aim, hey, can we just end the day green? Can we see opportunities? And you'll see on some of these days, I traded a fair amount, just to show the churn. I'm green, then I'm red. And so it lets you know that, things weren't as consistent for me and my style of trade, right? We can zoom in on this a little bit here, get a bit of a bigger frame. Yeah. So, a lot of inconsistencies and we did see some momentum here and there, up to 20. Not bad. 134. Okay, not bad. And we came into week 3 and, I had a good start to the week and ended up having a much bigger red day here on Tuesday. This did not feel good, and it happens, right? It happens where, you're looking up, you're on a good streak, and before you know it, it's like boxing, right? The sport, the analogies that I use, right? Boxing is one of them. And you have a nice plan, and then boom, you get punched in the face. You get punched in the gut, and a liver shot. You get punched in the mouth, uppercut, and it's like, oh man. because you're working all along slow and steady, and you essentially wipe out all the gains that you've been working towards in one day. One step, it's like this is one big step, and then one big step right back, you know? So you stay relentless. Even when these days like this happen, you keep it tight and you keep looking forward to the opportunities, right? Thursday comes along, then Friday, Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday, I would say the hottest day that we saw since, hotter days last month. This day was absolutely incredible. With was it ATXI? Is it ATXI? I don't know for sure. But I mean, what an incredible move. Yeah, ATXI was the one, right? Splendid. And this is one of the things that I'm going to adjust to in the future. Really and truly, my game plan was, hey, when you're in a cold market, take it slow. And if there is a hot stock, don't bite too aggressively, because we're still in the context of a slow market and we could still see weakness. But I feel like it comes to a point where we could be in a cold market like we were, and there's a stock that is just undeniably, undoubtedly going against the trend. And I want to narrow it down, right? Instead of waiting to be aggressive the second day, the third day, the fourth day, I want to start being aggressive on this first day. But what I think I'll do, I'll allow the stock to give the first leg. And I think the first leg for me will be that determining factor, And there might be some more risk involved with doing that, but we'll see how it goes. It's one of those things where I can always revert back to what I've been doing if it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not afraid of change, but of course, as we know with trading, you always want to be careful with how you go about making the change. That way it doesn't negatively affect your trading. We don't want something to throw us off. But this is something minor, and it doesn't really occur often. It's usually a transitional day, a shift in the market. And so, I mentioned if I'm using more size on this day, that this day would have undoubtedly been better and bigger than every other day of the week. But it was one of those things where you're just not sure if you should be aggressive. So let's get into the detailed section now that we took a look at the monthly calendar, right? 5 red days, not bad, right? 5 red days. We did have 4 full weeks. So, essentially 1 red day per week. So not terrible, right? Not bad. So here we go. This is the gross profits, right? We did just over 2K, right? So we bounced back after starting down, 2,100, man. Let's go here to the 1st and bring this back to Tuesday the 6th. This is how we started the month, 750 average, loss per day. Poor accuracy, as you guys will see here as well. So good recovery, I believe around, let's see, was it the 19th where we got back? No, not quite. End of week number 3. We started to finally chip away a little bit, and the last week is where we really made the bulk of the profits, right? If we include, it just goes to show, like, all you really need is a good couple of days, If we go from Friday the 23rd to the 30th, we completely turned it around, 3,600 with an average of 610 per day over those 6 days. And this is what really got us back, in the driver's seat on the month. So it's one of those things with the market, when momentum is on our side, and the wind is to our back, we have to step it up and be aggressive. And that's what I did in these last couple of days. Came in on Monday with a little bit more size and didn't know if we were going to see opportunities, but FFIE came along and gave some good trades, right? So let's pull it back and let's go over some of the stats here. Average daily gain, 96 bucks. Average daily volume, 154,000. So this was down, of course, as you guys know, as I dropped size. Average winner, average loser, almost the same, 27 to 26. Total number of trades, 1,325. And number of winning trades, 675. Number of losing trades, 624. We have 26 scratch trades. Max consecutive winners, 10. Max consecutive losses, 8. Right? Largest gain, 322. Largest loss, 442. And this happened to be yesterday. And if you guys saw the recap, we took 5,000 shares for break of 3. We were up 310 on the stock, I think $310. We took 5,000 shares for break of 3 and got absolutely obliterated. And it's like we still finished the day very green. I don't think it shows it on this equity graph here, but we took on a loss, and it was not a fun one, right? It's somewhere in here if I could find it. We might have had, and I mean, and if we do think back about the red days too, we might have had some, we might have had a big loss or two mixed in here, because I remember I also had a 2,500 share position that I lost about 20 cents or close to it, so both of these, even on the green days, you'll have some big losses sometimes, right? So getting back to the metrics here, and we can zoom out a little bit. I forgot my my webcam is probably all in the screen. Let's see. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, so average hold time winning trades 20 seconds, average hold time losing trades 20 seconds. Let's see, it's actually 13 to 11, and average hold time on the scratch trades 6 seconds. So best performing stocks: BIAF, FNGR, TOPS, PEAT, FFIE, and so forth. A lot of these symbols you guys will have saw, and PEPG was a pretty good one. And on the losing side, a lot of you guys would have also seen these symbols, and maybe you're very green on some of them, right? PXMD, HPCO, ISEE, VRAX, right? ATXG, and then so forth down the list. Let's see, performance by instrument volume. So our stocks are pushing higher volume. We're doing a little bit better, over 25 million shares. Some of these other metrics, as you guys know, I'll scroll down just so you guys can see them if you want to. Prior day relative volume. This is interesting. You would think it would be over 500%, or let's say anything above 100+%, right? Because volume relative to today versus prior days is usually a huge influx, right? Yeah, so we got a couple of stats down there, and we can pull it over here to let's see, day and time. So very, very choppy in this range here. Green Monday, red Tuesday, green Wednesday, red Thursday, green Friday, right? Just absolutely unbelievable. 1800 between 9, let's go for every 15 minutes. Pre-market slightly red, but green at 9:30, 9:45. As we get to 10 a.m., I gave back profits, and this is not good. This is not good at all. We also had some bigger losses around 1:30. I believe this was over a few days, especially on those red days, coming back and seeing some bigger losers, right? 12:45, not bad at all. And of course, Power Hour bringing in a little something on the month, right? But this is what we have to avoid, right? This and this. Can we cut these numbers down? If you happen to be red, it has to be on the smaller side. It can't be, our red. Anywhere where we are red, it cannot be equal, right, to our green, stretches, right? So the different durations, we have to have bigger green, twice as much green for the red. If I'm going to be red here, 800, I need to be up 1600 in this area here. That's how I want it to be. 2-to-1 ratio. 2-to-1 ratio for everything, right? market behavior, um, doing a little bit better as the market is bouncing. As the market is a little flat, I'm red. And once it's actually down, we're actually seeing a small amount of gains. Now, for me, the overall market sentiment definitely plays a role. I've started to see the correlation more and more. Now, the reason why the small caps are still sometimes, most of the time, strong, even when the market is weak, is that, individual news, right? And these companies are small, right? They're not that big to where they're actually influencing, the SPY, right? So, unlike companies like Facebook and Amazon and these companies that are pulling a lot of weight, a lot of their value is so big. These small cap companies is quite the opposite for them, and if they have good, solid, concrete news, they can still do well in a weaker market. Now, when the market sentiment for the large caps and the market in general is very hot, and a small cap company does put out good news, generally we see even more follow through, even more volume, even more volatility. So we're seeing good opportunities now, but for obvious reasons, as I just mentioned, they're not as strong and exaggerated as they would be under better circumstances, right? So moving on to the win-loss expectation, and a lot of cash passed through the account, man. A lot of cash passed through the account. 18,000 in gains, 16,000 in losses, right? A lot of cash passed through the account. It usually doesn't feel like this much, and this is not that much, but it's still a good amount, but it goes to show if we can keep those losses tight, and we can see some more accuracy, better accuracy and precision, we can get more green out of the days, out of the weeks, and ultimately out of the month, right, out of the year. So we're down, we're sideways, and we finally, a bit of an ABCD almost, right? High pivot on this low here, and curl back up. So that was pretty good for the month, right? Not bad at all. And so, are we on to something here? Is this a false breakout, right? Let's go back to January and February of this year, right? Look at this. ABCD again, right? So I had a rough start to the year. I'm slightly red, then I'm flat, then I'm slightly red again, and then, are we? And you can see over these I've traded more volume in just September alone, right? More cash passed to the account in September alone than January and February combined. So you can see how light the volume was here for me. Right? I reduced size drastically. Right? So I didn't really size down as much as I did before. And I think all of this shows the progress over time, right? So guys, keep in mind that it's slow and steady, and you really see the results over time, over weeks, months, years, you see the results. Sometimes you might not see the result the next day, the next week, but over more time you can see it, right? So as we add on March, we start to get some green. So we start to ask ourselves, is this ABCD for real? Are we breaking out? It looks like we are. We rip new highs, all-time highs. We consolidate, and no, this is a big pullback here, man. Big pullback. So we ask ourselves, is this a false breakout? Is this a false breakout, right? Are we coming up here to then go right back down? And when we add on the next month, April, right? We add on April, and you can see that this dip we held and we kept going. Boom, boom, boom. May, and so right now we're in a similar situation. What is this breakout gonna look like? Are we gonna see momentum, and are we gonna see follow through? We pushed all the way, and this is like water under the bridge. We're pushing. You put July, we're pushing. Another incline again. Well, did that increase? Did it filter? Yeah, here we go. Another incline again from 21. We jump to 30. And then again, August comes along, you know, and again, we push. So from 30, we jump to 41, you know, and you can see right now, all right, let's zoom in here. You can see right now that we are, hold up, here we go. You can see right now that September has came, and we you know, at even end of August, you know, a bit of a consolidation, right? So let's put in September in here and see, you know, how the equity curve is looking, right? So let's add September, and let's come on in. So we had a slight pullback, and now we are curling up, right? So let's bring this down. Here we go. So slight pullback, and now we're curling up. So are we going to see another breakout, another 10, 15, 20, 30,000, or are we false break, you know, or is it going to be a false breakout and then we consolidate again? What does the market have in store for us in October, right? Right now, I don't know. I'm optimistic. I trust myself to be disciplined. I trust myself to trade smart. I trust myself to trade setups. I trust myself to manage risk. And so I feel confident that at worst, I go sideways. You know, I feel confident. I trust myself enough to go sideways at minimum. You know, even if I'm not seeing big gains, I trust myself to at least go sideways. And so, what does October have in store for us? Guys, remember, be relentless, right? Let's erase this and come back to the all-time P&L. And, you know, we've had drawdowns, and we've learned from these drawdowns to, you know, try to keep more sideways in our slower areas. You know, it's been slow and steady. It's a beautiful equity curve, right? There's some equity curves out there that are really nice. I would say this is amongst, you know, the better ones, right? Because you guys know how it is, man. Trading is hard, right? You know, we're keeping it real. Trading is hard. Trading is so hard, man. It's like it's so interesting, the psychology of this, man. It's like it's the hardest thing that I do. I think, you know, on a daily basis, especially. I mean, it's so hard. So, you know, we don't want to take it for granted. We just want to keep pushing and keep being better, you know. So we're sideways. Are we going to see another crazy incline? And the inclines are going to just keep getting more steep and better. You know, better pullaways, better breakouts. We are getting better every day. I mean, look at this right here, right? From 86, we just ripped to 99, you know, just boom, explosion. So, you know, are we going to see another rip to 125? I think so, you know, I think so. Are we going to get a bit of a bear market rally, you know? So, guys, remember to stay relentless, continue to trade smart, continue to trade setups. If you enjoyed this monthly recap, hit that thumbs up button. If you're a new viewer, subscribe to the channel. Guys, turn on notifications. That way you guys can know when I go live every weekday morning. Check out the links down below, right? Check out our free Discord, our free chat room. Check out the Mometic scanner. If you're in need of a scanning platform, check out Momo Pro, guys. Mometic is the way to go. It's the, you know, cheapest, and I would say the best platform. So check it out, no pressure. I have 2 videos on the YouTube channel going over the filters and the layout of the platform, right? The layout of the platform, the filters I use. So check that out if you're interested. Code Relentless for 25% off for 6 months. Price point cannot be beat, plus discounts, guys. It's been Relentless, and I am, of course, signing out.